Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Hildebrand. In the last episode, we continued our hunt for the Wolf Burglar, but first we took care of the auctioneer who was selling Kakiran slaves. And then the Wolf Burglar struck again, attempting to steal a priceless sword. And so we kind of forced our way into that particular situation by having Nashu disguise herself as a Geiko. And also Hildebrand, apparently. And then, the distraction that we were causing gave the Wolf Burglar an opportunity to try to steal the sword. He made off with it. We tracked him to Yangsha, and then we were able to apprehend him. But we gave the sword to Yojimbo, who was hired by Akabono, the owner of the sword, to return, but he has not. So he's absconded with the blade, and so we now need to track Yojimbo down and recover it. But in the process, Shigure here, well, he got his head shaved, and he did actually get inducted into the Seki Segumi. So, some positives came out of that. So, let's go ahead and get right back to it. Let's talk to Shigure, and let's get an update on where we're at. Alas, Shigure seems utterly devoid of hair and hope. You look well, Ayame. I pray your adventures have not been too taxing. Not really. As for myself, the search for the Soboro Sukehiro as well as Yojimbo continues. Not that I could claim even a measure of progress. Ah, Shigure, there you are. It's Hildebrand. And Nashu, of course. We thought perhaps to find you inside, my bald man, but I see you are here, and in the company of my stalwart assistant. Bald? You of all people should... Having failed to seize upon new information of value, or even passing relevance, we were in the midst of reconsidering our investigative strategy. But tell me, have you word of Jim and our missing sword? Jim? Who is... yes, Yojimbo. No, as I was telling Ayame, I have made no progress since last we spoke. You seem distressed, Shigure. If you had pined for your lost locks, then pine no longer. We have brought you a hair tonic of preternatural effectiveness. Really? Well, that is actually a very considerate gesture, thank you. Well, I'll try it right now. Aye, the sooner the better, perhaps. Ah, well, hello there. I say, to meet with Master Zombiebrand and his bosom companions yet again. Truly, the Kami have been kind to me. It is always a pleasure to see a man of the old horde, but were you not bound for Eorzea? Why are you yet in the Far East? Indeed, I had thought to return home and rejoin my brothers, and to that end I did call upon a local fisherman to secure passage. It was from him that I heard a tale most fascinating, which compelled me to stay. A Funayure, a far eastern variety of undead, had been seen wandering in Isle shores. As my previous attempt to recruit fellow zombies had met with failure, I thought, why not broaden my criteria and appeal to this ghost in the spirit of camaraderie? Alas, it is a most elusive quarry. Rather shy, it would seem. I sought to learn more of the Funayure by questioning the people of the city, but am unsuccessful thus far. I see. I realize this is sudden, but in your inquiries, did you hear mention of Jim? Jim? I fear I've heard naught of that particular far eastern spirit. Though, to be honest, not all have been willing to entertain my company, perhaps due to my undead nature. It pains me to hear that. In this world, there remain people prejudiced against the living impaired. You seek this Jim, Master Zombiebrand? If so, I should be glad to help. Grateful as we would be, it might be wise to change your attire. The people's reluctance to speak with you may be due to your passing resemblance to a certain wolfish fugitive who until recently terrorized the city. Oh, how careless of me. I shall change into something less conspicuous at once. Then it is settled. When at first you don't succeed, make inquiries again. Let us split up and speak with the men and women of Kugane. Shigure. So that's it? Everyone is simply going to ask after Jim again? I mean, if it so happens to lead to something, that's all well and good, but you'd be surprised. Alright. Kisetsu. Yojimbo, you say? The name does ring a bell. Ah, yes, now I recall. The Lupin fellow was asking after him as well. Though that was some time ago, he's since been detained by the Sekisugumi, the Lupin, not your Yojimbo, that is. Not that I can imagine why. He's no criminal. Why, when I told him how my mother had taken ill, he gave me the koban to purchase her medicine, without my asking for anything. They say he's done terrible things, but a man like that, no, I refuse to believe it. If there's any justice in this world, he'll be set free. Really now. Byakudan? Let me guess, you're searching for a man named Yojimbo? The Sekisugumi questioned me about him not long ago. Very desperate to find him, they were. I doubt they will receive much help from the populace at present, though. Why, you ask? Surely you've heard. The Kugane wolf burglar has been arrested. Despite what the wealthy elite would have you believe, he is no demon deserving of the harshest sentence. If anything, he is a hero to the downtrodden, having shared his spoils with the least among us. If you ask me, the Sekisugumi ought to take a closer look at the merchants he targeted. Akabono in particular has been at the center of many dark rumors. Anyway, in light of the wolf burglar's detainment, many are less than willing to aid the Sekisugumi in their activities, and unfortunately, if they suspect you to be working with them, you too may find your overtures rebuffed. So, a thief with a heart of gold, I guess? Tsurubami? Oh, you're also pursuing that Yojimbo fellow? The Sekisugumi were asking after him the other day. I'll tell you what I told them. I never heard of the man. And just between you and me, even if I did know something, I don't know if I would want to tell them. You know the Kugane wolf burglar? The one they locked away? Rumor has it they intend to inflict upon him the terrible punishments for his so-called crimes. Madness, I tell you. Madness. Every single one of the burglar's victims are among the most notorious scoundrels in the city, greedy merchants with no scruples whatsoever. What's more, everything he stole he gave to the poor and needy, and yet they decry him as a villain. Fools. Alright. Well, let's tell Shigure what we've heard. I don't know if that's much better. I see. And what have you learned, Ayame? Other than everybody likes him. Apparently a certain Lupin is rather well loved. Huh? I had no idea the plight of the wolf burglar weighed upon the minds of so many. What exactly did they say? That he steals from the rich and gives to the poor? A hero to the poor and downtrodden? A criminal who simply gave away his hard-won spoils? This is all quite unexpected. But whatever aspersions they may cast upon his victims, the law is the law. Even disreputable merchants are deserving of fair and equitable treatment. To ignore their plight is to let the mob decide their fate. That said, to hear that some may withhold information in protest is cause for concern. As a man of the Sekisugumi, I cannot help but feel conflicted. If I may, Shigure, it might be best to dress in less conspicuous clothing, at least for the time being. I'd hate to say it, but that is a sensible suggestion. surprisingly. Perhaps I should make use of my old kimono. Yet, even if I were to do so, my face is already known. They will mark me as a Seki Sugumi and perhaps even resent my attempts to deceive them. I've got an idea. Why not ask the wolf burglar? If he's so popular with the people, who knows what secrets they've told him. Well, there you go. Ask the wolf burglar? If both he and Yojimbo had designs on the Soboro Tsukihiro, then it's possible they might know one another. Well done, Nashu, but I was mere moments from reaching the self-same conclusion. It's settled then. Let us go and question the prisoner without further delay. Greetings and well met, comrade. If I might have a moment of your time, then we might ascertain the whereabouts of the fugitive Yojimbo. We wish to speak with the Kugane wolf burglar. Will you permit us to enter? Certainly, Shigure. If it will aid in your investigation, follow me. I trust you are enjoying our hospitality. I come bearing questions. Questions, eh? For little old me, you say? Following your arrest, the Ronin Yojimbo absconded with the Soboro Tsukihiro you stole from Master Akabono. He remains at large. You have reason to believe the sword was his objective all along. Given that it was yours as well, I thought you might know something of the man and his motive. Everyone knows that sword's worth a bloody fortune and then some. But finding a buyer for a masterpiece as famous as the Soboro Tsukihiro, especially after word of its theft has spread far and wide, well, good luck with that, says I. Why, they'd surely have to avail themselves of the services of certain disreputable folks with whom I happen to be intimately acquainted. I'd be happy to introduce you lot as soon as you set me free. What? Absolutely not. That is out of the question. We've got nothing more to discuss. Best be on your way. No, Shigure, let's not be too quick to judge. The goodly men and women of Kagane are willing to trust in his good intentions, and perhaps we should as well. An awful lot of people were willing to vouch for his character. If what they say is true, then it would be wrong to see him hanged. I'll propose to my superiors that you are to be temporarily released into our custody for the purposes of our investigation. If you abide by the terms of our arrangement, you may receive leniency. What say you? I see you've got yourself a deal, Baldy. Will they even consider my proposal, though? The deliberations alone may prove time-consuming, and if they refuse... Remind me, Nashu. Do you have that hair tonic on you? I sure do, Inspector. Now's as good a time as ever to try it, don't you think? Here, in the jail? Well, far be it from me to refuse. Remember to use the whole bottle, my good man. Pour it over your head until not a single drop remains. And they have sunglasses on. Yeah, because last time this happened, it got pretty shiny. It seems rather wasteful, but if you insist... I feel strange, like my scalp is, oh, by the kami. Shigure, are you alright? I heard you shouting. The light, it blinds them. There are too many. What? And turn and flex and shake and bounce. Perfection. Rejoice, my goodly burglar, as I, Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, and Inspector Extraordinaire, have liberated you from your unjust imprisonment. Now see here, Inspector. Well, he's got his hair back, but it's blonde. He wasn't blonde. Huh? What happened? Has the prisoner escaped? Still in a cell, I see. But what in the world was that blinding light? 1,000 pardons. One of my associates was carrying small explosives. One was detonated unexpectedly. I, of course, bade her take the others outside immediately for safety's sake. I believe that explains that. Yes? Yes? Right then. Well, if you excuse me. Ah, yes, of course. Very good. Wait. When did Shigure regrow his hair? And it's the wrong color. Alright, well, that worked. How he managed to escape undetected, I have no idea, but I can pray that our ruse will... I can but pray that our ruse will remain intact. The wolf burglar led the others into the waterways below. We should follow. We should follow. This way. Oh, there he is. Been down here before? If so, you might have met my friends already. A contemptible lot, all Kugane's cast-offs. If anyone's heard a peep from your quarry, it'd be them. Come on then, don't be shy. Oh, you're looking well for a rat bastard. He's a wolf to know a rat, ha! What do we owe the pleasure? And more importantly, how do you slip free of the Seki Sugumi's noose? With my dashing good looks and my silver tongue, how else? But never you mind that. I need information, Koju. Do you now? Or is it the Seki Sugumi at your shoulders the one asking question? No need to give that lad a hard time. He did right by me, and I mean to return the favor. Eh? You mean you're helping him? Have you gone mad? Well, even if I have, it's nothing you and yours need worry about. Yeah, need worry your pretty little heads over. Give us a hand, and we'll get out of your hair. Wolf's honor. They're not a bad bunch, really. Most tried to make a living on the straight and narrow. Some even had a mind to join the Seki Sugumi, like you. But were found wanting for this reason or that. When honest work's no longer an option, that leaves the other sort. The dangerous, the disreputable, the dirty. Somebody's got to do it, and these industrious souls pick up the slack. Maybe they're not the cream you prefer to hobnob with, but while you're in their company, I'd ask that you comport yourselves with a modicum of civility. I should like to believe I have done just that. You'll forgive me if I've given you any reason to think otherwise? See? Fast friends we all are. Right, then. We're after a bloke what goes by the moniker of Yojimbo. Heard tell of the man? Yojimbo? No, can't say it rings a bell. Boy, any of you know a fellow by the name of Yojimbo? Well, there you have it. Might be different if he had a bounty on his head. What'd he do, anyway? Piss in the Bugyo's rice porridge? Ah, if only. He stole the Soburu Sukahiro, he did. Look at me, what a beauty. Wonder why, though. Finding a buyer, even through the black market, would be a challenge and a half. And if he'd even put out the word he was looking, we'd have heard about it by now. To come all this way and leave with nothing. Here, let's not call it a day just yet. Assuming this Yojimbo didn't steal the sword for the challenge, there's only two reasons he'd take it: to sell it or to keep it. And if it's not about the money, then I doubt this is his first prize or his last. Hark, my keen inspector sense whispers and speaks of a thieving collector of swords. Yes, there can be no mistake. Aye, with what he said, I suppose. If he's a collector, then only the best will do, which means his next target might be, oh, I don't know, the Ame no Murakumo. Wait, the Ame no Murakumo? I thought that was nothing more than a fairy tale. Do you mean to say the fabled sword of Eld actually exists? Yes, it was the one that was used by Susanoo. A giant kami tried to kill me and my friends with it, but I deflected the blow. You what? I have so many questions. But first, where did this all happen? In the Ruby Sea, with the Red Kojin. How's within the Kojin of the Red's treasure vault, eh? If that's the case, then it seems to me you ought to continue your search in the Ruby Sea, no? It might well be the best place for us to look. In that case, let us brook no further delay and head to the Ruby Sea at once. Alright, Hildebrand. Oh, my friends, the Ruby Sea awaits. Nashu. I can't wait to get back out there so I can enjoy the sun and the surf. And the wolf burglar. It's like I said, they have good hearts, each and every one of them. Sometimes fate deals you a bad hand and you've got no choice but to make the most of it. Alright. Hoju. If it's legendary swords and the like your man's after, he could do a lot worse than the Ame no Murakumo. Yep. Shigure. To think the Ame no Murakumo is not only real, but that it was brought to bear against you and yours by a kami of unfathomable strength. In any event, we now know where we might search. The Ruby Sea. Before I may leave, however, there's a matter of great import to which I must attend. Well, perhaps great import is something of an overstatement. I speak of the inspector's earlier advice concerning my garments. I will meet you at the Ruby Price after I have changed. Pray, go on ahead without me. I insist. Alright then. Hildy? Truly, there's no rest for the righteous, or whatever term one might use to describe Hildebrand, Heliodor, Maximilian Manderville. All set for their trip into the glittering westward expanse? I know I am. Let's hop aboard the next ferry to the Ruby Price and wait for Shigure there, as he requested. Come along. Alright. Head to the Ruby Sea. Alright, well, let's see. Quickest way there. Actually, teleporting within the city is probably the fastest way to get there. And then Ethernet over to the hostelry, and then walk from there. Or rather, sprint. There we are. Wolf Burglar. Back in your old gear. Oh no, still in your same gear. Oh. If you had the sword and sold it, what would you do with the money? Just out of curiosity. I won't tell anyone. Nashu? I'll have to be here any minute now. I can't wait. And Hildebrand. Oh, it's Shigure. Over here, over here. An interesting getup. By the kami, I thought you were someone else at first. Well, since it was suggested I should wear something other than the garments of a Seki Segumi for a time, I paid a visit to Kugane Dori and purchased something completely unlike my usual attire. It's quite a change, but very much for the better. I do say so, if I do say so myself. I didn't realize you could be so fashionable. Fashionable? Please, Nashu, you give me too much credit. I'll say, that get up with those Zori? I don't see that becoming a trend. Oh. Forgot about the shoes. All that matters, we didn't come here to mess about, eh? We've got a collector to catch. Assuming he's after the Amane Murakumo, then we've got to get to the Isle of Zeki. Any ideas? I can fly. By air or by underwater passage, eh? A bit more tricky than I thought. Now the blessing of the Kojin, the latter seems almost impossible. What about that bird of yours? Montaro, was it? After what the inspector did to him? Ha, he'll be keeping a wide berth, I reckon, assuming he's even fit to fly. It was a somewhat traumatic experience for all involved, aye. Forgive me my bluntness, my wolfish compatriot, but it occurs to me that we have yet to hear your motives for attempting to steal the Soburo Sukahiro from Master Akabono. Did not Koju say that selling such a blade would be extraordinarily difficult? It's not stealing to take back what was stolen. That black-hearted bastard Akabono prized it from the hands of its rightful owner. He was a humble samurai who lived a humble life devoid of most luxuries. A righteous man who'd never turn his back on those in need. Certainly not a young Lupin boy who'd fled Doma during the occupation. The two lived as father and son, with few comforts save each other's company. And then one day, a merchant came calling, asking after the samurai sword, asking him to part with one of his prized possession. Or his one prized possession. But a sword is a samurai soul, and he'd sooner die than sell it, even for a fortune. But the merchant, he's not the sort that goes quietly into the night. He changes tack and worms his way into the samurai's affairs, small sums at first, but bigger than bigger. Before he knows it, the samurai owes the merchant a veritable mountain of coin, and so he pledges his blade as collateral. The samurai worked day and night to reclaim his honor, but while strong in spirit, he was weak in body. He fell sick and soon after passed away, leaving his Lupin charge alone in this unjust world. All this time, you were only... He left Kugane for a time and returned years later from Yangsha, having learned the ways of the shinobi, that he might honor his adoptive father by helping others as he had helped him as a child. A chivalrous guise for a personal vendetta, perhaps. More than anything, he yearned to reclaim the samurai sword, the last surviving memento of their time together, that he might wear it with pride. All this time, Master Akabono was your main objective. When you broke into his shop in the Rakuza district, you were searching for the Soburo Sukahiro. You kept a close eye on him, even as you continued to target other disreputable merchants, that you might drive him in to take additional measures to protect the sword, knowing that in so doing he would eventually reveal its location. And it is settled. The Soburo Sukahiro must be returned to its rightful owner. Hey, if it's so hard for people to reach the Isle of Zeki, how is Yojimbo planning to get there? That I do not know, but regardless, if he was headed there, someone must have noted his passing. I say we question the pirates of Sakazuki and see if any have observed a traveler resembling Yojimbo of late. We're of the same mind, Shigure. To Sakazuki, post-haste. Alright then. Let's go. Alright, so who do we talk to over here? Well, there's the wolf burglar. Have we ever gotten his proper name yet? Ah. Ihaki. Oh, I remember you. Looking for more dead men. Nope, not this time. A rail-thin samurai with a wide-brimmed hat and oversized gaita? A traveler like that would not escape my notice, which is to say I'm confident I haven't seen him. Sorry to disappoint you. Oh no, my friend. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. As I said before, my good woman, when at first you don't succeed, make inquiries again. Let us away. Alright, we gotta find somebody else to talk to. Probably easier to do this by air. Yep, there we are. Confederate Shipwatch. What was that? A lanky samurai with a large hat. As it happens, I spoke with a traveler like that. Had a dog with him, too. Sure enough, he had a mind to head to the Isle of Zeki. He couldn't imagine why, what with the red being as unwelcoming as they are, and there being no place to dock a boat. I told him as much, but he shrugged it off and went on his merry way. Didn't think of it. Did I see that dog of his not long ago on the beach below, wandering about? I hope he didn't abandon him. You have been tremendously helpful. 1,000 thanks to you. Surely, the canine in question is Daigoro. We must gather the others and search for Jim's beloved companion at once. Daigoro, here, Daigoro. Oh, there he is. Oh, I think I see him over there. Huh? Maybe he doesn't like us anymore? No, you just got to give the pup the right incentive is all. Incentive? Surely it can't be that simple. See for yourself. So that's all it takes to win him over, eh? A single koban? Greedy little thing. Shigure, Daigoro is a good dog, and now he will lead us to his master. Well, there you are. This is quite a fix indeed. Daigoro? What are you doing here? I thought I told you to wait for me. Hildy? Hildy? Jim, my good man. I mean, you rapscallion. You've nowhere to run. Cease your shenanigans and relinquish the Soboro Sukahiro at once. I will do no such things. Ever since I was bested by a certain laconic warrior, I yearned for an opportunity to redeem myself, and so I set about searching for stronger swords with which I might bring my everything to bear. Mark me, the Amino Murakuma will be mine, for it is the key to my victory, and if you dare bar my path, I will show you no mercy. Stay your hand, my friend. Though I know you only mean well, securing the sword is a grave responsibility which falls to... I, Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry and Inspector Extraordinaire, will resolve this conflict and reclaim the sword. Prepare to be amazed as the Soburo Sukahiro is delivered into my waiting arms. Daigoro, oh Daigoro, come here and let Hilde give you a big belly rub. Daigoro, you would do no such thing. What? Betrayed. The inspector does come from a wealthy family, so maybe he smells the money? Until you surrender the Soburo Sukahiro, I will give Daigoro the most furious of belly rubs, thereby depriving you of the pleasure. Such is my ultimatum. Daigoro, return to me this instant. Oh, eye on it. You win, the sword is yours. That was easy. Wow, the coming. I can't believe that actually worked. Inspector Hildebrand's powers of negotiation are most impressive. Oops. There we go. It had to happen. Wait, where's the Soburo Sukahiro? Where it belongs. Yep, right where it belongs. You fiend, return it at once. That's far enough, all of you. Seki Segumi. Bugger me, where do they come from? Bah, this isn't over. Shigure, what is this I hear about you setting free a notorious fugitive? Explain yourself at once. Well, you see, Inspector Hildebrand and I, in order to track down Nojimbo and the Soburo Sukahiro, we needed to enlist the assistance of the wolf burglar. To that end, we removed him from the jail, temporarily, of course. We have every intention of returning him to his cell. And he's gone, of course. And how do you intend to do so when your prisoner has taken flight? Shigure, I charge you with aiding and abetting a criminal in their escape. Be reasonable. You know full well that everything Shigure did was to achieve a greater good, to uphold the law of the land. We will return with the Soburo Sukahiro and the wolf burglar, I swear to you. Your actions in service to the Sekisugumi are not unknown to me. Nevertheless, Shigure must be held to account for his. To make an exception at your request would only compound the effects. No man is above the law, not even our own. Well, that didn't go well. Alright, Hildy. What a miscarriage of justice to see our Shigure spirited away like a common criminal, in complete disregard for the extenuating circumstances. It falls to us to find a way to right this wrong, but this is no place to devise a plan. To Kugane, my friends. Alright, back to Kugane. Head over here. And see what Hildebrand has to say. Oh, my good woman, I hardly know where to begin. Ever since our return, I have been racking my brain trying to conceive of a means by which we might free Shigure from his predicament, but to no avail. By absconding with the sword, the wolf burglar has done us no favors, and yet I do not think his tale of the samurai and Nakabono was a lie. My keen inspector sense tells me that the many threads of this tale are converging upon a single point not far from now, in which all truths shall be laid bare for all to see. Oh, that's what I like to hear, and I agree. I don't think the wolf burglar is bad at all. Once the Sekisugumi realize that, they're sure to let Shigure off the hook, don't you think? I most certainly do, Nashu. Furthermore, I say that to hasten this most desirous of resolutions, I must begin investigating Master Akabono at once. Hold the fort while I'm gone, my stalwart assistant. Yes, sir, Inspector. I don't know what he's about, but I'm sure it'll be brilliant. And there he goes. I suppose this day was bound to come. No matter, soon there will be nothing in this world beyond my grasp. And that concludes this chapter. They have Shigure in the jail, along with the little Taru stalker. All right, let's just keep going. Nah, shoot. Oh, where in the world could he be? What's up? Oh, it's you. I don't suppose you bumped into Inspector Hildebrand roaming about, have you? Making his inquiries? Nope. Oh, ever since Shigure got detained by the Seki Segumi, the inspector's been busy looking into the affairs of Master Akabono, but to no avail. Oh, there he is. Never fear, my faithful assistants, I have returned. Your unwavering loyalty to the pursuit of honor and justice and a hard-boiled egg is to be commended, my good woman. I might go so far as to say that in all my years as an inspector, I have known no fan more passionate than you. But speaking of fans, during the course of my investigation into the darker rumors concerning Master Akabono, I received a mysterious missive I can but presume was penned by one of many, many admirers. Gosh, Inspector Hildebrand, even in the Far East, you've got yourself a following. Can I see it? Certainly, Nashu. That's interesting. It's definitely not written by a Hingan, but they don't seem to be too good with their Eorzean letters. Yeah, something of light, who seeks the strongest of swords, the Soboro Tsukahiro, know that I have laid claim to this most priceless treasure. If you would make it yours, meet me upon Kugane Ohashi for a duel to end all duels. Sincerely, you know who. The something of light, you say? Why must he must be referring to none other than my humble self, the one and only gentleman of light. That said, I would much rather resolve this dispute without resorting to duels and the like. Wait here, my friends, while I go and attempt to reason with this misguided ruffian. I'm pretty sure they wrote warrior, not gentleman. Which probably means they're talking about Ayame. What do you think, Inspector? He's already gone. Inspector Hildebrand? What do you mean he up and ran off? And why are you still standing here? You should hurry up and try to catch him before he does something silly. Again? Alright. Where are we headed? The complete other side of town, but fortunately there's an Ethernet node right there. Or Ethernet shard. Over to Thavnarian consulates. Ah, Hildebrand, in his usual position. Is it you, Ayame? As you can see, I seem to have found myself in a pickle, and by pickle, I mean the ground. Kugane Ohashi lies beyond this gate, but before I could pass through, I found myself suddenly accosted, then inverted and embedded thusly with a dear but misguided Jim. The duel I must regrettably leave to you. Kugane Ohashi now accessible. Alright then. We have to, it is a trial. Very well. Am I gonna do this as samurai or something else? Average wait time is 18 minutes. We go back to Sage. Less than 5 minutes. That's a little bit better. All right. So I will wait for this to be ready, then I'll be back. All right, it's ready. I decided to switch to Dark Knight, so let's go ahead and do it. Kugane Ohashi. For far, far too long have I waited for this rematch. So Bosuko Tsukahiro. Yeah, brought us together, but it was fate that something or another. All right. Well, the other tank is this guy here. Are you gonna jump in? Looks like you're gonna jump in. All right. Right. I gotta remember how to play Dark Knight. All right. Doing Jimbo, it's Gilgameshing time. Well, hello there, Greg. So we'll see if this group can do this without wiping. I think I can count on one hand the number of times I have run this without wiping. Alright, we got stack, stack, stack. Alright, dragon heads. Don't get hit. Back again. Oh, maybe using that. Oh, spread out, spread out, spread out. Alright, I gotta tank this one. This is the DPS check that usually... Oh, stay there, stay there, stay there. Alright, one's down. Because he has Ame no Murakumo, and he's going to hit us with it if we aren't careful. Divine epicness. Alright. Well, we survived the one part that usually gives most groups trouble, so that's good. Oh, yeah. This also doesn't help. Oh, one of the healers is down. Oh, back off, back off, back off. Now, we gotta be broken out of these iron chains. Excellent. Up, got the tank. Well, that's why I'm here. Okay. We have a lot of people down. Well, if we can get to level 3 limit break. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a little safe sliver there. All right, stack, stack, stack. Oh no, the healers managed to get everybody up. All right, that's good. Bite me. Got it. I yield, I yield. I throw myself upon your boundless mercy and beg forgiveness, please. Yeah, right. Alright, give it a remaining healer. What's the loot? Yojimbo Barding. Sure. I won! Excellent. Alright, Hildebrand. We meet again, Hildy. Greg? Greg? I say, you're a sight for sore eyes. However did you come to be here in Kugane, in the Far East, for that matter? Ah, well, you see, the thing about that is... I say, to think that Greg was masquerading as Jim this entire time. Indeed I was. After Ayame bested me a second time, I quit Eorzea and embarked upon a journey to distant lands, that I might hone my skills in preparation for our inevitable third bout. When I saw you had misread my carefully written words and come in her stead, I felt I had no choice but to remove you from the field forcibly. You forgive me my unkindness, Hildy. Now, Greg, there's no need for apologies between friends. But again, I must ask, though, how did you come to be here in Kugane as a ronin of much repute and remarkably thin waist? I know it seems far-fetched, even insulting to your intelligence, but there is a simple and highly satisfying explanation. In my quest to hone my skills and procure more powerful weapons overseas, I neglected to budget properly for food and drink, and soon found myself bereft of both. Driven to deathly hunger, I fell to my knees, and in that instant looked to my bosom friend and the painted rooster that had offered me companionship in my darkest hour. When dawn broke the following day, I was alone once more, a sliver of strength restored by the terrible sacrifice of my comrade, whose body and soul I would carry with me ever after, who ate it. By his grace, I survived for days and days after until I chanced to cross paths with a stray dog. He too was clearly a victim of the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortune, and in each other we found kindred spirits, we orphans of fate. Thus did I name him Daigoro, and thereafter did we travel as one, working together that we might both live and see another day. When we at last arrived at Kugane, I sought employment as a mercenary to rebuild my misspent savings and resume my search for the strongest of swords. It was through such ventures that I acquired the Zanmato, in fact, and began to build my reputation as Yojimbo. Naturally, a legendary ronin must dress to meet the expectations of his clients, and so I assembled an outfit that would satisfy those who requested my services. It was around that time that I first saw Ayame walking the streets of Kugane, much to my surprise. Needless to say, the sight of the woman who had bested me twice before was enough to rekindle the competitive spirit within me, and so, when I heard tell of the Soboro Tsukahiro, I knew I must claim it in preparation for our battle. The rest, you know. Truly, a riveting tale. And tragic besides, for though I fought with all my strength, yet again was I defeated by the great and powerful warrior of light. As I said to you on the bridge, no more tricks. I have taken my shot and fallen short, and so I will cease my shenanigans, and instead pledge my complete support to your endeavors, that I might make amends for my misdeeds. And we should be glad to have it, Greg. Welcome aboard. Let's return to Nashu and share with her the wonderful news. You too, Greg. You're a full-fledged assistant now. Really? Alright then. Welcome aboard, Greg. Or Jim, or whatever. Alright. Well, let's go, head back to the Rakuza district. And let's talk to Nashu. Terrible news, everyone. Whatever is the matter, Nashu? It's Shigure. As punishment for helping the wolf burglar escape, he's been sentenced to death by ritual suicide. This is indeed a disturbing development, Hildy. We have no time to spare, my friends. Presuming the wolf burglar is in the wind, our only recourse is to delve deeper into the hidden past of Master Akabono and uncover proof that the sword he claims was first stolen by he himself. Divide and conquer, agents of inquiry style. Well, I think this is where I'm going to have to end the episode. We'll finish this up, I think, next time. And we'll see where this ends up going and see if we can rescue Shigure from having to commit seppuku. So, for now, we'll stop here. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.